All right. What's up, folks? What's up? Today is September the 1st, 2025. So I've got an indicator for you today. I'm a little bit refreshed. This has been a rough couple of days as I've been working through getting this program together. But it is here. It is here. There's only probably one thing that I see with it that a little. I would like for it to work better, but I'll get to that. All right, so the main thing I'll show you right now. So if you go to you have multiple data streams on. If you go to your data stream, data 1, 2, 3, you're going to want to see your data streams in that order. You want to see them in sequential order and not say 1, 2, and then 5. If you have a gap in those data streams, then it will throw off this specific indicator. If there is an update for it, or if I can work out a workaround, then I'll by all means update that. But in the meantime, it works, bar that. Okay, so I gave you an idea of what it is. This is object transfer. So the idea here is to be able to transfer objects from one chart to the next. And it's not just horizontal lines. It's not just a box. It's not just a trend line. I mean, it's going to do those, and then also the ellipse. Okay, but so I put part of this program together, and then as I was working on the tutorial, I come to find out that TradeStation has recently, in some update, allowed for shared drawing objects, which then made that program somewhat obsolete. With the exception of somebody from Discord asked if it could also send the objects to the subgraphs. So I said, yeah, I think we can work that out. All right, so if you turn on the shared drawing objects for a TradeStation, it will send your drawing objects to the first data stream, right? So we also have ES on the second data stream and on the fourth data stream, but we're only getting objects on this first data stream, okay? Now you say, all right, well, what if I go down here to say this first, second, third data stream, or the second index, and then I draw something down here? Well, it's still not transferring down lower, okay? So this shared drawing objects for TradeStation works for the first data stream. All right, so this is where my program comes in. Okay, so we got to turn off that shared drawing objects from TradeStation though, because otherwise it's going to share it multiple times and then you have a mess. All right, so you turn mine on, and mine is data print. I might call it something else later, but as soon as you click it, it's going to give you an error because you have to put in the password, okay? All right, so once you hit edit studies, go to the study, status, turn it on, and then customize, then you put in the password. Okay, let's see if I can figure out what the password is for the month of September. Okay. I'm gonna get that updated and then get that closed out. Okay. And then same thing for the one down below. We've got to get that study edited so that we can put in the right code. And the code should be the same. All right. Just show you what it does. All right, so I'm going to add a drawing object. So we're on ES right here. So for ES, I'm going to put a drawing object, a rectangle. You see the rectangle goes to every other data stream that has ES, right? And it adds the rectangle, okay? So from the sender chart to the receiver chart, if it has ES, then it gives us a rectangle. Same thing with the ellipse, or the trend line, or the horizontal line. Now you can change the color of these, change the color like that, hit blue, and then if you just tap it, then it will change all the colors. So a tap of any of the drawing objects will update the drawing object, okay? So tap it and it updates it. Of course, if you touch it, then that's going to update it too. Now, you can not only edit and modify the position and that kind of thing from the one screen, from the sender screen. You can also modify it from the receiver screen or any of the other, drag it down too low, or any of the other screens, the other data streams. Okay, so that's cool. All right, so now if we want to, and by default, it's going to default to the first data stream. Okay, but if we want to do something for enqueue, then enqueue, we have to first click on enqueue so that this data stream is activated, and then we can put an object. Okay, so then it goes to the other data streams for enqueue. As many data streams for enqueue is either on the sender or the receiver chart. Now, the only problem comes in where if you have a skip here, if you have a skip of your data stream, then that's when it'll throw off it'll throw off the creation of the object. Okay. All right. So the other thing is I had to make an update for it to allow the program to save the objects through turning the chart on and off. Like I said, the global dictionary, whether or not it saves the information, or when you restart the chart or restart the program if it saves it. All right, you see here I drew an object on the receiver screen. If I draw it on the receiver screen, it doesn't store it. I have to draw it on the sender screen. Okay. All right. Now, in order to delete an object, you hit the control button and then you tap the object. Control button, tap the object. Okay. Now, rectangles are special. They're special. If I hit the Alt button, and then within 2 seconds, I believe I set it for, within 2 seconds, if I click the rectangle, it'll extend it far to the right. If I hit the caps lock button, it'll extend it far to the left. Okay. Now, that's a toggle, right? So if I want to turn that toggle off, and again, this goes all the way to the left, all the way to the right. Okay, if I want to turn that off, then all I've got to do is hit the Alt button or hit the caps lock button, and then, tap the image. Oh, I hit Shift, sorry. Okay, all right, so, and then that, again, changes it on every chart. All right, so, like I said, we can turn this off and then turn it back on, and it will still recover. As long as we have both of these, the sender or the receiver, open, then the global dictionary, the file, the data is still being held, okay? But if we close the workspace, I'm going to save the workspace. That'll allow the data to be saved to app storage, and then we're just going to open the workspace back up. All right, and then we should get everything pop right back up. Okay. All right, so if you have any questions, comments about this, by all means, let me know. Otherwise, this is probably one of my first, I don't want to say polished, but this is one of the first programs I've taken a long time on, and it's really cool. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, by all means, reach out to me here on Discord or at my email, successfromstress@gmail.com. I'm Eric. I'm out. Peace.